Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be reviewing The Princess and the Page by Christina Farley. Now before we get into the review, I just want to put this little disclaimer out there. This book was provided to me by the author in exchange for an honest review as part of her blog tour that's going on currently. I will leave a link down in the description box below to my blog post and to the blog tour in general. Meow. Welcome to the world of word weavers. I have to say, this is one of my favorite worlds that I've read about in a very long time. I've read plenty of books about people jumping into stories, being drawn into the stories involuntarily, reading their stories vocally and them coming to life, but this is the first book that I've ever read about where a character can literally write their stories to life and inhabit them. It was a unique world and one that I was immediately drawn into. The plot was really interesting, and while some things were really predictable in the storyline, other things like who the big bad was in the end really did take me by surprise. I really loved the part where history and her story merged together and become one reality. That was just so cool for me, and as a history buff, I just loved seeing the two merge together and become one. Reading this book really made me want to go back and reread Inkheart by Cornelia Funke. I never finished the full trilogy. I think I only read the first 2 books of the trilogy, so reading this really made me want to go back and finish the full trilogy. I would definitely call this book the middle grade version of Inkheart. So, in honor of Kiera, our tomboy princess, I have got my tiara on along with my t-shirt. Kiera was kind of an odd character to me. She was so many different things to so many different people that I never truly got a sense of who she was as a person and a character. To her mother, Kiera was someone who had to be protected and saved. To her best friend, she was the writer who won them the trip and the one who gave her the opportunity to design the ball. To the characters within her story, she was their word weaver. To herself, she was part princess, part adventurer / savior. She was just so many different things that I kind of felt like she just jumped from one thing to the next, and she was never really an amalgamation of all of them. Her best friend Bella is actually quite the selfish character. She pushes Kiera in the first place to write the story, even knowing it could get her in trouble. She may have had good intentions, but she also had selfish desires pushing that, since if Kiera won the story contest, she wanted to be the one who came along with her on the trip. Also, when she was doing all of the design work for the ball at the end of the week, she kind of pushes everything Kiera says off to the side, even Kiera's concerns about her safety and wanting to leave early. So I just found Bella to be kind of a good force that pushes Kiera, but also a negative force in that she was extremely selfish. Chet was also kind of a weird character for me. I actually don't quite know the purpose of why he was there. He didn't especially move the plot along, and I just felt he was just kind of there in the book. I have to admit, being Canadian, I did really love the fact that Chet was a French Canadian, though. And to be honest, I didn't really feel betrayed when we found out he was spying on the girls and reporting everything to his father. That was just kind of how little I cared about him as a character. To me, I felt like his only value was in the skills that he had that the girls didn't, like the rock climbing and teaching Kiera how to rock climb, which did end up helping her at the end of the story to defeat the big bad. So maybe he was there as a character to give Kiera the skills she needed to overcome all of the evil at the end. To me, the tips small pieces of knowledge and little quips that were at the beginning of each chapter were adorable, hilarious, and I couldn't wait to see how they were involved in the chapter that they were the header of. I was also really intrigued at the beginning of the book why the date was also included in French, but then as I pieced it together, the girls won the trip to France. It all started to make sense. It was little touches like these that really made the book for me, though. Reading this book as an adult, it was a little bit too fast-paced for my liking. It started off with a bang and then just never stopped from there. I really would have liked personally more of a calm start to the book, building up to the tension and then keeping it at that same level of tension throughout the entire storyline. I know it's really hard to find a balance in middle grade books. You still have to fit the full plot into a shorter book since they aren't generally that long in this genre. But I just wanted so many more things explored within the book. I would have loved having it as a longer book, even though technically for the genre that wouldn't make sense. I feel like if some things were explored more in detail, it wouldn't have just been bang, 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 big plot idea after big plot idea, and would have given us more of a chance to breathe in between. I also found everything to just be a little bit over the top, from these outrageous things happening one after another, to the way Kiera's parents react within the situation, to the way even Kiera reacts within the situation, her feelings that she has. It just feels like everything was over dramatic and over the top. But this is me reading it as an adult point of view. Reading this book as a middle grader, however, it has everything one could want within a book. It has mystery, magic, action, adventure. Middle graders will just be absolutely spellbound and be looking for their own magical pen to start writing their own adventures. I feel like in a world like today, fantasy and magic are kind of looked down upon as fantastical and not really worthy of everyday life. And the absolute thing that I love most about this book is that there is so much magic and fantasy within the book, because it really will engross kids and stimulate their imaginations, which I feel like we really do need nowadays. Really, I feel like all authors are word weavers. They create these worlds and adventures that suck us in and we experience through our own imaginations and just make us want to jump into the pages of the books ourselves. I certainly wish I had a magical pen where I could write stories and jump inside them. Hopefully, young readers can be inspired by reading this book and picking up their own pen and creating worlds which one day we can all explore. So come join the world of word weavers and read The Princess and the Page. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to press subscribe to see more videos from me. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, and Goodreads. I'll have links for those in the description box down below, along with a Goodreads link to The Princess and the Page as well. Thanks for watching! This is Christine signing off. So one way I think that you can fix that is at the back of the book here, they have an About the Author section. Before you read the author's story,